In today's corporate world, business functions are more siloed than ever, with functions like marketing, human resources, operations, engineering, and logistics becoming more and more specialized. Without a team to bridge the gap, to marry quantitative and qualitative data, and to assess the business problems and systems from a holistic perspective, corporations might fail. And those people who are silently shaping the way that businesses operate and making decisions across the globe, those are industrial engineers. Just as business functions are becoming more and more specialized, businesses and companies' access to data has only grown in response. Industrial engineers possess the skills to clean, sort, and assess data in meaningful ways, enabling them to shape patient healthcare outcomes or to make sure that your last-second Amazon Prime order arrives on time. Simply put, industrial and systems engineering is concerned with the design, improvement, and installation of integrated systems of people, materials, information, equipment, and energy. And if we left it at that, you might not know if you'd want to be an industrial engineer. Rather, industrial engineers like Keegan, who work for the Tampa Bay Rays, were tasked with understanding how certain free agents might increase their team's chances of winning the World Series. Or, like Allie, who's tasked with understanding the right price for toys at Disney World so that everyone is happy. Industrial engineers at their core are problem solvers equipped with a variety of tools like data science, coding, simulation, decision analysis, and much, much more. And at this point, you're probably wondering, what's in it for me? Sure, you have a couple alumni who have a couple of cool jobs, but why would I really want to be an industrial engineer? And the truth is that industrial engineering is one of the most versatile degrees that you can receive at the University of Arkansas. Aside from being located in a logistics hub, the University of Arkansas has one of the premier industrial engineering degrees in the country. With an incredible opportunities to study whatever you want, whether specializing in consulting, operations research, simulation, coding, or whatever else you need, IEs inhabit literally every industry. And with a well-rounded degree, IEs are well equipped to assess markets and launch their own businesses as well. Or, like Tim Cook, reinvent them. That's right, the guy who inherited a company from a college dropout? Yep, Tim Cook is an industrial engineer, who you can thank for the Apple Watch, the usable version of Apple Maps, and of course for bringing the first company to $1 trillion valuation. And with faculty across a broad range of industries from transportation and logistics to healthcare, to simulation, to manufacturing, to coding, your degree is not just worth more, but you're more empowered to get your degree. For those students who are not only looking to sharpen their technical skills, but also drive business growth and change, industrial engineering opens doors to manufacturing, healthcare, defense, aerospace, data analytics, finance, logistics, retail, e-commerce, and even human resources. So wherever you see yourself making an impact, industrial engineering can be your first step. Finding a major to call home is an important decision, and so over this series of videos, we'll demonstrate how IE coursework, its professors, its programs, and more will prepare you for your career and your future ahead. The thing you'll spend the most time on in college is the curriculum. The industrial engineering coursework prepares engineers for a variety of industries and builds a tool belt of problem-solving applications.
The really promising thing about IE is that it's diversified. There's lots of opportunities to work in a variety of career fields in different organizations.
The flexibility that IE degrees allows you to concentrate in a certain area. That's how we designed that part of the curriculum. So that's a very positive thing. And you have the flexibility to pick what you want to do.
So some of those foundational tools are what you get as a sophomore. The goal is for you to build your toolkit, and then you take those tools and apply them in your junior and senior level classes.
Your first year and the full year in the program, you're going to take a 2-course sequence that focuses on probability and statistics. And so you get probability in that first course with a little statistics at the end, and then a harder core version of statistics in the second course.
So you'll also have a course on engineering economics, right? Because one of the fundamental principles of industrial engineering is to improve efficiency and decrease costs. So you have to understand how to manage resources and account for costs and make good business decisions for the organizations in terms of how they decide what capital expenditures they might make to support the organization.
Computing and programming knowledge is as important as being able to speak in the English language now in the workplace. And we have 2 sophomore classes that's just focused on coding. Then you can code again your junior year in a technical elective, and then a majority of our capstone teams are developing code their senior year. So it's something that we are going to make sure resonates throughout the entire program.
Simulation reinforces probability statistics, modeling, statistical analysis, programming, and it also allows students, engineers, to get exposed to design. So they design a system and see if it meets the performance goals. It allows you to describe a system via some basically programming code and then have it be visualized through the animation.
Capstone experience is where you really get to face open-ended problems, and that's the real world, right? So we really want to expose our students to the opportunity in an educational framework to deal with that open-ended problem, a problem that's important and critical enough that a company has partnered with us on it, because you're solving something that they're going to use. And that's the goal, is to get you ready to move into the workforce so the day you step in, you're equipped and comfortable dealing with those types of problems.
Senior design in industrial engineering is kind of different from other engineering majors. Like, we design processes that involve people and organizations, and those things are in the real world. They're out there, not in the lab. We have to get out there with the client, interact with them, collect the real observational data from the real system, and that experience that a capstone design course gives an IE is invaluable, because it's kind of like practice for what they would actually be doing as a real IE.
So obviously our job is to develop these quantitative technical skills in the classroom, but it's also our job to make sure that our students can communicate those results to somebody who doesn't have those technical skills. And often that's just as difficult as the technical skills in the first place. So you'll see throughout our classes opportunities to do the technical work, but we're going to challenge you to get up in front and explain it to us and explain it to your peers, and then oftentimes explain it to others around campus or in the community.
It's the thought process, and it's the rigor associated with how do you design and build, and the logic associated with that. But we're trying to train you to have the fundamental skills that we think you need to be able to do the things that are going to be expected of you in the types of roles we see our students get into.
Our alumni leave the department and go on to have a wide range of careers, utilizing skills that they honed here at the University of Arkansas to take on challenging projects that arise in their organizations and in the field. A few of our alumni sat down to share with us what they learned and how they're applying it today.
My job is to use data and statistical analysis to help the Tampa Bay Rays win more baseball games. One project might be providing information to our staff that they can use to help our players be successful as possible. Another project might be providing information that might help us to evaluate players across the league as a whole. At its core, though, it's really using these statistical analysis tools to give the Rays an advantage.
I, as a process improvement engineer, really look into and dial in on different processes that may cause bottlenecks within our facility, that may take an extended amount of time, that we don't really understand why. I dial into those situations and really observe and look into and figure out why this is.
We're doing like statistical analysis on different changes we make to make sure that we're still selling. So I work in merchandise, so making sure we're still selling product even after we've made these changes.
I think IE is a good option because you learn a wide set of skills. I think IE, because it's a pretty challenging program, I think it really helps with developing problem-solving skills, which most employers, in my experience, that's just as important as these very specific technical skills. I mean, you have to have the technical skills required for the job you want to do, but you also have to have these problem-solving skills. So I think IE just positions you to have a lot of options and to, in my opinion, be pretty good at those options.
And that's just kind of what I'm huge on, is connecting with people and solving problems, and to know that I could do that as an industrial engineer, connect with people and solve problems. I loved it. It was like just the perfect combination for me.
A lot of what we did in classes were what I was doing then at Disney, so it was definitely a solid foundation. Classes that have really helped what I do now is definitely like the engineering econ and stuff like that, just because like where I'm at Disney is more based on like money and finances.
Industrial engineers are also trusted by leadership to make the case for and lead projects that contribute to savings and greater efficiencies for their organizations.
After I model a situation, I do typically take it to staff, which are higher leadership and managers within my facility, and I present it, I talk about it. They're pretty much counting on me to say, yes, this is our solution, this is how we're gonna get this done. I have like complete autonomy within my organization to do what I think is best for the company, and I really enjoy having that independence and that I'm trusted as a young engineer to get things done and to make big decisions like that.
I have meetings with different partners in the merchandise line of business, so I get to spend time with them and I run analysis on like, okay, well, we're gonna take price on these items. So then I run my data analysis on the back end after we've made those price changes. Then that's when I'm running statistical analysis to determine, are these products still selling well? Are we making more money? And so it's coming up with the best solution for that and the best price. But also, being Disney, we're very guest-centric. So we care about our guests and we're not gonna do something that would harm their opinion of the company.
Engineers make things, but industrial engineers make them better. And I mean, you have these different engineers who are putting different systems and machines and electronics and mechanics and roads and different transportation devices into place. Industrial engineers are coming in to figure out how we tie all that in together and make it just a seamless experience.
I think IE does a good job of both giving you the hard technical skills that you need for a lot of engineering industries, while also helping you to develop these problem-solving skills and communication skills that a lot of companies are finding just as important and just as valuable.
The Industrial Engineering Department sees globalization of business as a prime opportunity for its students. Through a focus on study abroad, global business and studies, the Industrial Engineering Department ensures that students are equipped for their future global work.
Students are going to enter an international world, and they're going to work for a company that is an international company, multinational company, or it has national partners. Their suppliers are international, their customers are international, and so for a student to be able to converse with people from different countries, be able to maybe go to a different country and live and immerse themselves in a culture and be successful, they broaden their mind. It makes you more appreciative of where you're from and who you are, and more appreciative of other people.
This focus on study abroad and globalization not only benefits students on a personal level, but on a professional level as well.
I think the real benefits to studying abroad are multifold. They look more appealing to employers because employers are looking for people who can communicate with people that are different than they are and relate to people from different cultures. It also can support their career goals, particularly if they're going to another country and doing something related to engineering. So we have had students who've studied in Spain in sustainability and worked at a wind farm, and we've had students who've gone to Germany and worked in German industry. And then another way students grow is just developing more confidence, being able to relate to people, and when they're interviewing for a job, or if they're in a job, they have stories they can tell. It makes them more interesting people.
So if you're interested in study abroad but don't know where you want to go or how you want to start, here are a few options for you.
Two of the more popular programs are the engineering exchange programs in Newcastle, Australia, and in Sweden. But there are lots of short programs that students can participate in. They can go on summer programs, they can do January intersession, May intersession. So over the past few years, we've had students who've gone to France, Italy, Sweden, England, Scotland. Certainly they've gone to Australia and New Zealand. And in Asia, we've had students study in Japan, in Vietnam, and we had a student go with the business school to China.
I had the opportunity to lead a couple study abroad experiences in India over the summer. I saw the growth in the students' perspective from the day we arrived in India. By the time we left, those students had grown so much in just that 8-week experience. Their perspective on life, their perspective on how to do things, the confidence in their ability to do things. It was just amazing to see that. And so that ability to immerse yourself in a different culture, a different society, really helps our students develop an appreciation for what they have here.
And if you're unsure if you can fit study abroad into your schedule, or if finances are an issue, the Industrial Engineering Department has you covered.
Usually the two major obstacles to study abroad are that they're afraid that they won't graduate on time, and they're afraid that they can't afford it. We have exchange programs that are at schools that have enough engineering courses in English that our students can go for a full semester and study abroad and not miss a beat on their plan.
We're fortunate that we have the John L. Emhoff Global Studies Scholarship, and we give out, between 5 and 8 scholarships a year to help support students study abroad.
Preparing yourself for a global marketplace is a crucial part of today's college experience. The Industrial Engineering Department provides a wide range of opportunities for students to develop the skills they need to succeed in today's global businesses.
It shows them you're open to viewing things differently. You're open to understanding different components of society, different types of societies. It also shows a level of maturity that you're willing to engage in that type of experience. When you study abroad, there are risks, right? You're willing to engage in those risks. You're willing to take the time to learn about a different society, a different culture. And it shows a desire to maybe become broader in your thinking, which will help better equip you in your role in corporate America.
Now that we've gone over some of the strongest reasons you might choose to become an industrial engineer, here are some of the additional resources the Industrial Engineering Department provides its students. Organizations such as Alpha Pi Mu provide exceptional students a chance to network and further their skills with other faculty and alumni, while the Institute for Industrial and Systems Engineers gives students access to industry professionals and to further their career goals and passions through conferences and networking events. And of course, we would be remiss not to mention the plethora of research opportunities available to both undergraduate and graduate students. While you likely won't end up studying baseball in your research like Keegan, there are still amazing ongoing research opportunities. From designing electric vehicle battery swap stations to building mathematical models to help improve cancer screenings, the opportunities to shape our future are here.
Yeah, it was basically choosing free agents, using some of the techniques we had learned in our courses to choose the optimal set of free agents for your team that would, in theory, maximize wins for your baseball team. But what it was kind of groundbreaking for me personally was just the way to see that the skills you're learning are really versatile and can be applied to a lot of problems, including ones that I would not have guessed you could use these skills for going into college.
And so, if you decided you want to learn more about the Industrial Engineering Department and what a career in industrial engineering might look like, our faculty are excited to meet you and to learn more about your passions and goals. If you're looking for more information on the curriculum, global studies, our faculty, and careers, head over to the Prospective Undergraduate Students page, links shown in the corner of the video, and in the description as well. There you'll find plenty of resources to help guide your journey into becoming an industrial engineering student. While there are many great courses of study within the engineering college, here at the Industrial Engineering Department, we truly believe we prepare each and every student for a future in the global workforce. With our degree, you're prepared not only to tackle the issues of today, but the challenges of tomorrow.